active presidential nominee. So we can say, as of tonight, for the first time in the history of our country, a woman will be a major party nominee for president of the United States. And in many circumstances, that is a very big deal. I spoke with Hillary Clinton tonight, just before the Associated Press made their call that by their count, she now has the delegates to be the Democratic Party's nominee. Watch. Joining us now from Los Angeles is Democratic presidential candidate, former Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. Secretary Clinton, thank you so much for taking time tonight.
Glad to talk to you, Rachel.
How are you feeling about tomorrow's contest? California, New Jersey, the Dakotas, New Mexico, Montana. It's a lot of states tomorrow.
It's a lot of states, and we're working hard in every one of the states to get as big a turnout as possible. I've got a great campaign going. Lots of volunteers. Our supporters are working overtime. So we're going to work hard until the last votes are cast tomorrow.
It would be surprising mathematically if you did not hit the magic number tomorrow night and effectively clinch the Democratic nomination. Because of that, should we expect that you are going to declare victory, give a victory speech tomorrow night when you give your remarks in Brooklyn?
Well, I will be speaking tomorrow night, and right as you and I speak today, I'm 3 million votes ahead of Senator Sanders, nearly 300 pledged delegates ahead, and I think that's a very firm foundation going forward.
Let me ask again about the victory declaration. Obviously, semantics at this point matter, not just because of marking milestones in the race, but also because of hurt feelings, because of the prospect of trying to achieve unity among the various supporters of the various candidates. Would it be inappropriate to declare victory? Do you plan to give the kind of speech that reflects the fact that you've clinched the nomination?
Well, you'll have to wait and see tomorrow night, but I think it's pretty clear that that's what's going to happen, and I'm very excited and very proud of that.
NBC's Andrea Mitchell just confirmed tonight that President Obama spoke with Senator Sanders over the last couple of days, over this weekend. As this primary does come to an end, is President Obama getting involved personally in trying to bring the party together?
Well, you'd have to ask the White House. We all want to bring the party together. That is something I've been talking about. I've said that I will do my part. That's what I did. Actually, 8 years ago tomorrow, on June 7th, in 2008, I had a much closer race with then Senator Obama than Senator Sanders has with me. The popular vote was literally neck and neck. The delegate gap was much smaller. But I took the position that he had a lead in the pledged delegates. That's what we look at. That's what superdelegates look at. And I withdrew, and I also endorsed him. And I knew how important it was that we unify the Democratic Party. I think it's equally important this time around.
When Senator Sanders has been essentially warning the networks, warning journalists that they shouldn't declare the nomination clinched tomorrow, even if you do cross the delegate threshold, because he says the superdelegates can't really be counted until they vote at the convention. Obviously, as you just explained, that was not your calculus in 2008 when the race was even closer than it is now. What's your reaction to him casting the race that way? Does that frustrate you?
I find it perplexing.
It's now to try to shore them up in case he does continue to press that case?
No, the people have already spoken. I mean, this would be unprecedented for someone who makes this case, and I know he and numbers of his supporters do. They have to answer some basic questions. Why are you advocating that you want to overturn the will of the people who have been expressing their views for these last many months? More than 3 million votes ahead in the popular vote. Senator Obama and I were neck and neck. 300 pledged delegates ahead with more to come. I really don't understand the argument. Basically going to superdelegates and trying to persuade them to overturn the primaries and caucuses and their results never has happened. It is not going to happen this time. And the sooner we unify and make our case against Donald Trump, the better off the Democratic Party will be. That is what I've been advocating. I made the case against him in San Diego last week. I'm going to be continuing to make the case against him. And whatever differences we may have between Senator Sanders and myself, or that my supporters and his may feel, they pale in comparison to the differences with Donald Trump. We both want to raise the minimum wage. We both want to make sure we get to universal health care coverage. We both want to make sure we have good, strong regulations on Wall Street. We have a lot in common in the goals that we have set, all of which Donald Trump rejects, repudiates, walks away from. So I don't really understand the argument that's being made. What I believe is we need to unify our party. I will do my part. Others are also going to be reaching out, and I hope that Senator Sanders will reciprocate.
I think part of the reason that was such an intriguing report tonight is because I have heard that argument from you. I've heard a version of that argument from Senator Sanders. Everybody observing this primary fight between you and Senator Sanders has been thinking about what party unity is going to look like, the importance of it, how it's going to happen. And I think I have a lot of curiosity, and other people have curiosity as to how it happens, what the nuts and bolts ways are that comes together. I mean, are you speaking directly with Senator Sanders? Are your campaigns talking? Do you plan to?
Oh, our campaigns are certainly talking, and I will be reaching out after tomorrow night because I obviously want to unify the party. And as I just said, we have so much more in common, and we face a very serious threat from Donald Trump. I think that he is unqualified to be president. I think he is temperamentally unfit to be commander-in-chief. I think whatever party you are, whatever your political philosophy might be, listening to what Donald Trump says, even trying to imagine what it would mean for our country, for our place in the world, how others would view us, what we could do to make a positive agenda a reality to help Americans. There is no doubt that Donald Trump is the threat that I think he poses to America that is going to unite the Democratic Party.
Bloomberg reported this evening that Mr. Trump got onto a conference call with his surrogates and his supporters, and he told them that they should continue to attack the judge in the Trump University case, this judge who Mr. Trump has gone after on the basis of his race. Mr. Trump personally told his surrogates on this call that they should call reporters racist.
Just comments that he made about immigrants, calling them rapists and criminals. I was criticizing Donald Trump for his divisive, insulting, dangerous language a year ago, last summer. And I've continued to point out that his kind of hateful rhetoric has to be repudiated no matter what party you are, or where you live, or what your background is. This attack, this racist attack on the judge is just another example that he is a terrible precedent. He's trying to demean and defame a federal. With respect to the judge, that's a racist attack. With the attacks on so many other people, he is calling them out for their ethnic background, their race, their religion, their gender. I don't know what else you could call president for every single American.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, thank you for taking time tonight at this very, very busy evening.